Good morning, everybody. I want to take a chance to reach out to everyone, and I'm going to try to make this a weekly event, to be able to communicate an update of what's going on within the company, particularly within the branches, and things that impact the broader customer experience team. That includes both care and our service teams. As you know, the last 2 weeks have been very busy, with last week being the announcement of the acquisition of Hawk and us doing our integration down there. I want to thank once again everyone here that helped prepare for that. I know that there were many of you that were involved in putting together the processes that we are now implementing. I also want to thank especially those that came out to Hawk to do the transition last week, including Jen Ireland in HR, Joe Chambers, Gary Irvine for service. Carol was very helpful in preparing, and Tiffany pinch hit and kind of came in and took Carol's place as Carol had a previously scheduled vacation. Mark and Patrick from IT, Roe from finance. We also had our benefits coordinator, Gary, came as well as rapid response, sent 3 individuals to help do some training throughout the week. I'm really thankful for all that they've done. Just want to take the opportunity to talk a little bit more about this model. We come from a world where we sometimes have perceived door knocking, particularly summer sales companies, as very negative ways to create customers, poaching customers, stealing customers. And I want to reemphasize that Hawk Security is a very different company. They have been around for a long time. The current general manager has been there for almost 10 years, Mike Shirley, and many of the sales reps there have been there for quite a long time. And they're not like summer sales where they're parachuting into a new area just for the summer and leaving. All these individuals have lived and worked in this area for years and years and years, and take a very straightforward door approach as they're interacting with potential customers. They sell the 2 gig product and have been very successful at doing that the last few years since the 2 gig product was released. It's going to be a big deal for us this next Monday. This coming Monday, we'll be taking the phone line that right now has been going to interface. It's the 888-YOU-GO Hawk number, has been going to interface, and depending upon what they're needing, either interface will take care of the issue or they'll forward it to us or they'll forward it to the sales office. That was an interim measure that will be changing on Monday. That phone line will come here, and it's going to put a little bit of pressure on us. We expect the volume to be fairly high. We've got some new hires going through training this week. All of us will be on standby, prepared to help if the calls are a bit more than what we anticipate. But appreciate everyone preparing for that and getting ready for that, and kind of sensing some of the urgency associated with that. We want to treat those customers as our customers. They are our customers, and it's important for us to do our best to take care of them. Also, in the meantime, between now and Monday, as we're getting phone calls that either are being transferred from interface, we've spent a lot of time figuring out different scenarios of why customers might call in, and we should have a defined process for everything. And if interface is under the impression that certain types of calls need to come here, odds are that that's accurate. We're communicating with them fairly regularly. Just want each of you to know that if you do take a call that's either directly from a Hawk customer or from interface forwarding on the customer, be as cooperative as possible. Even if you're unsure how to handle that, grab a supervisor. We'll work through the details. The last thing we want to do is to say, oh, well, we don't take those type of calls. Take care of them yourself. Let's try to be flexible and figure out how we can take care of that customer at the end. I want to talk a little bit about the door knocking kind of sales channel and some of the urgency associated with that, because as we move into next week, we're going to potentially get more and more calls from employees, sales reps out in the field, technicians out in the field, and obviously customers as well. The Hawk sales team is 100% commission. They're all self-generated sales leads, meaning they're not given a number of a customer who's called in and said, I'm interested in a security system, can you please tell me about Hawk? These sales reps are going to someone who has never considered buying a security system or didn't think about it that morning and is now being approached. And I want each of you to know that, especially if you're talking to a sales rep who's in a customer's home, there's a high sense of urgency to try to take care of that and be as cooperative as possible and to help them as much as possible. It is very hypothetical that sales rep has been knocking hundreds of doors that day, thousands of doors that week, and this is their first sale. And this is the first customer that's let them into the house. And they're this close to closing the sale, and this phone call and the results of this phone call and the customer's perception of how long it takes to get an answer could swing one way or the other as to whether they're going to choose to go with the company or not to. And so we just need to be very sensitive to that and be very empathetic with the sales rep, do everything we can to support them. We have a lot of new sales reps that will be brought on in that area that will be learning how to do that and how to sell that way. And this one sale may be the only sale they get that week. And it may be that sale makes them decide whether they want to continue doing this or whether they're just going to leave and try a different career. We want to be the best sales support as possible for these individuals. I want to introduce you to some of the sales reps out at Hawk and tell you a little bit about them. I had the opportunity to interact with all of these individuals last week when I was there. The first one, I'm going to put his name up here on the board. If you want to guess how to pronounce it, Jack. And the last name, you'll have to think of a famous University of Florida quarterback from not too long ago and kind of think that in mind. It's pronounced Jack Thiebaud, believe it or not. Jack is the top sales rep in Hawk Security. As of in June, he'll have been there for 10 years. And everywhere he's been in this industry, he has been the best in the company he's been at. He worked at Smith Alarm back in the day. And for those that don't know, our CFO currently, Scott Peterson, worked at Smith Alarm. They know each other. I had a good opportunity to talk to Jack and learn more about his work ethic and kind of his formula for success, and was very impressed by his humility, his diligence, and how he's really refined his approach and really tries to spend time with people that he thinks are really going to be interested in getting a security system and not to waste time anywhere else, so that he can maximize the use of his time. This individual here, this is Don Goodwin III, and there's actually his father, Don Goodwin Jr., works for the company as well. But Don is what we call a field sales manager. That means he spends time out in the field, he sells, but he also does a lot of coaching with newer sales reps and kind of has a small team that he's responsible for of motivating and keeping them working throughout the week. Don's consistently within the top 5 sales reps at Hawk. He's a great all-around high producer. He also worked at Hawk and knows Scott Peterson. This individual here, this is Maceo Smith. Maceo is also a field sales manager and is regularly in the top 10 sales reps at Hawk Security. Some of you might have seen the Hawk mission statement in an earlier email that I sent. Maceo was instrumental in pulling that together and has a passion for leadership, for mentoring, and for teaching the sales reps why this industry is important and how to go about selling things in the right way. He's a fantastic individual. Again, I had time to talk to. All 3 of those individuals are in the Dallas office. I want to introduce you now to a sales rep that's in the San Antonio office. His name is Ismael Garcia, but his nickname is Smiley. Smiley has been there for quite a while as, again, a field sales manager. And he's a little bit unique because of what San Antonio does. San Antonio actually has a van program. So Ismael, Smiley, will be a driver of the van. So they'll have a crew that will actually meet at a certain time in the day. They'll get together in a big van and they'll drive out. And for their first shift of the day, in the early afternoon, they go and actually will knock doors in small commercial areas. So mini malls, strip malls, looking for small business opportunities. And then in the late afternoon, evening, they'll do a second van trip. They'll go back to the office and pick up some more people, let some people out, and then we'll go and knock doors in residential areas in the evening. And Smiley has been around for a long time with the company, very loyal employee, and excited to have him there. I had the opportunity to sit down with him and the branch manager there in San Antonio, whose name is Dustin Parker. For all of these sales reps, they're the best at what they do, and there are competitors we have down in the area that have constantly been trying to recruit these sales reps. And many of our sales reps, these Hawk reps, have been there for 7, 8, 9 years, have been very loyal to the company, and appreciate that. And we just want to do the best to leave a good impression. I know that we're going to be doing a lot of things differently than what we've done before. We're going to provide more sales support out in the field than we've done previously. This is a big sales group, over 60 sales reps. That quadruples the number of sales reps that we've had previously, and many of them will actually interact more and more with us here at corporate than they have in the past. I just want you to kind of get a feeling for who some of these individuals are. I'll share more in future weeks and introduce you to more of these reps. Please do what you can to treat them as customers. Our sales reps will generate new sales for us as a company, and that's part of the lifeblood of this company, just as much as our acquisitions team, our dealer support team, other areas that we're able to generate new customers are important and critical to us as a company. I want each of you to understand that, and as you see opportunities for us to make processes more streamlined, more smooth, please share those with your managers. We're going to be doing a lot of new things over these coming weeks, and we're going to always be looking for better ways to do it, and don't hesitate to speak up. Appreciate all that you're doing. Appreciate sacrifice and getting to and from work over these last few days with the weather. From what I've heard, everyone's been able to travel to and from the office in safety, and I appreciate that. Definitely conscious of you guys when we do have these storms, and trying to balance taking care of our customers and having an open office versus your safety and your time. And just want you to know that we are mindful of that. Again, thanks for what you do, and go team.